Hola amigos, hello friends, I am Jason Yancey with the Dragoncillo Puppet Troupe, and we are so excited to be a part of the 6th Annual El Quixote Festival produced by the Artist Studio Project in collaboration with the Orange County Public Library's celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. And the Quijotes project started for me in about 2013. I had just done another play, and I was looking for something exciting and fun to do, and it occurred to me that one of the most popular stories that everybody knows in literature from Spanish is Don Quixote. And there are lots of versions of the Quixote, but I had never really seen one with puppets. And I'd done a lot of work with puppets, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to try something new. One of the most challenging aspects of the project was beginning with the play. Taking a play that's a novel that's 1,000 pages long and cutting it down into a play that would be about 30 minutes to watch. I really wanted to create a play that you could understand and enjoy if you didn't know anything about Don Quixote or Cervantes or Spain from the 17th century, that you'd be able to watch it and enjoy it and have fun. But I also wanted to kind of slip in some of those smaller details that if you were very familiar with the Quixote and very familiar with Cervantes, you would also be able to understand and enjoy. So watch out for some of those little sneaky jokes and side comments along the way. One thing that was really important to me was that Don Quixote here look a little bit crazy. And it's very common to see Don Quixote with his traditional helmet that we think of, but actually in Cervantes' day, that wasn't a helmet. It was a shaving bowl that you would wear around your neck that men would shave, and that way you didn't get all of the shaving scum and water on your chest. But because so many of the pictures of the Quixote nowadays show him with that shaving helmet, it kind of looks like a helmet, and if you didn't know that was a shaving basin, you might think it was just kind of a weird helmet. So I really wanted my Don Quixote to look silly and absurd. So instead of doing the traditional helmet, I gave him a pot, a cooking pot, and we made some jokes about that at the beginning. But this way, with a cooking pot on your head, you would look a little more silly. This is clearly not a helmet, and to wear it makes you look a little not so right. So it was important to me to have him look a little crazy that way. So it took about 3 or 4 months to write the script, and I worked with Professor John Wade from Meredith College. He offered some great advice to help kind of build that story. But building the puppets took probably 6 months of dedicated, long hours of hard work. So each of the puppets began with a whole series of drawings and designs. I wanted them to all have a different shape to their heads and their bodies. You can see that Sansón, his distinguishing characteristic in the book is that he has a really big nose. So I wanted to make his nose as big as I possibly could. I also wanted the characters to be different sizes, so Don Quixote has the tallest head because his head is full of imagination and dreams and adventures, and I wanted Sancho to be the shortest and roundest because he's the most grounded, he's the most down-to-earth character, so all of his features are very round, whereas Don Quixote is very tall and his eyes are very wide open. The puppets inside are made of foam. So they start with a foam kind of skeleton structure. So they've got a skull here and a jaw. They've got a hand mechanism inside that you can pinch your hand on and hold it to open and close. And then the bodies also are made out of a foam structure as well. The costumes are all different. Obviously, I can't just go find some old-looking armor, so we had to make costume pieces for each of the characters. You can see Sancho's got some buttons, and he's got kind of a more peasant-y shirt to him, whereas Don Quixote looks a little bit more armored-like. To operate all of the puppets, if I show Sansón here, all the puppets have a rod that comes out of their elbow, and this is very common for ventriloquist-style puppets. This was so that my puppeteers could come in and grab one of the arms and use it this way to do different things if they had time. But of course, there were only 4 of them, so sometimes they had to go play other characters. If they needed to go play another character, they could simply let it go and move on, and it wouldn't be distracting to the audience. So this play was produced with 4 students from Grand Valley State University. They had taken a puppetry class that I had taught, and they volunteered their time to come and help out with my project. And on the first day of rehearsals, they said, "So what are we doing here? Are we? This isn't really a class. We're not getting credit." And I said, "Well, technically, you are helping me with my research and my scholarship. So sometimes when you're a big fancy pants university teacher, you get to do scholarship that looks like this: writing plays and building puppets and doing puppet shows." These puppets are built in a style called wide mouth puppets. That's because, as you can see, their mouths are super wide. But you're probably familiar mostly with this kind of style in the Muppets or Sesame Street. So puppeteers will often call this a Muppet style puppet. One of my favorite parts of making the puppets is adding all the little details at the end. Adding all the beards and the eyebrows and the fluffy hair. I love to put eyes on puppets. I love giving them pointy noses and crazy hair. And doing Don Quixote was fantastic. His hair is actually made out of several different costume beards that I found. And the beards were wiry and kind of crazy and pointy, so they were all pointed around and crazy at different angles, and they weren't brushed to look very nice. Sancho's hair, I wanted him to look very earthy, very rough, and so his hair is actually made out of rope. I bought some twine kind of rope and then glued it together and sewed it together, and actually on the top of his hair made little tufts of stringy rope that kind of falls apart, and then I had to poke a hole in the top of his head and stuff it in there and glue it. So when he travels with us to different shows, we have a special brush that goes with him to kind of fluff up his hair and make it look all rough and tangly and nasty like ropes do. One of my favorite puppets in the show to design was the windmill. Everybody who knows anything about the Quixote knows that he fights a windmill. And it was exciting to think of ways that I could make the transformation happen right there before your eyes, so that Sancho sees just a windmill, but Don Quixote doesn't see just a windmill. He sees a giant, a monster, something to be fought. So it was exciting for me to try and design puppets that could transform right in front of you. So I don't want to give away the secret, but this is our windmill puppet. And he's got a little mouth that's going to open up and transform right in front of your eyes so that you can see what it's like to be Don Quixote for a moment and see the windmill transform into a monster right in front of you. One of my favorite scenes from the novel is when Don Quixote is traveling with Sancho and he comes along to an inn, and at that inn is a puppeteer. And the puppeteer brings a puppet show. A puppet show about knights and bad guys and a damsel in distress that needs rescuing. And Don Quixote, watching this puppet show, has a hard time distinguishing between the real and the imagined. And he sees this event happening before him and he thinks it's real. It's a real knight and a real lady that needs rescuing. And he jumps into the stage and starts chopping up all of the puppets. So when I read this scene, I love this part in the book, and I thought, if I'm going to do a puppet show about Don Quixote, I have to have puppets in a puppet show. So one of my favorite moments in the play is watching this puppet show. And if you look carefully, you'll notice that the puppeteer's puppet stage in our play looks exactly like the bigger puppet stage with the bigger puppets. This is to help remind you of one of the most amazing creative parts of the novel, which is stories inside of stories. You've got the bigger story going on of Don Quixote and his adventures, but inside of that are smaller stories, smaller adventures, and different narrators and different performers and different puppeteers telling the story in different ways. So that is just a little bit of the behind-the-scenes magic of QUIJÓTERES. We are so excited to share this production with you, and we hope that we'll be able to be there with you live in person in the future. Enjoy!
En un lugar de la Mancha, de cuyo nombre no quiero acordarme, no hay mucho tiempo que vivía un hidalgo de la lanza en astierro, adarga antigua, rocín flaco y galgo corredor. The name of this poor fellow was Quijada.
Quijote!
Or maybe it was Quesada.
Are you kidding me? Quesada sounds like stinky cheese. My name is Quijote.
Huh? Many historians agree your name was Alonso Quijana.
Yo sé quién soy, and I am not Alonso Quijana. I'm the illustre Don Quixote de la Mancha.
Fine, Quijote! The story goes that this curious hidalgo read books of brave and virtuous knights in shining armor, battling dragons and wizards, and rescuing beautiful maidens. Day after day, night after night, he read these tales of adventure. Until, after so much reading and so little sleep, his brain dried up altogether and something inside him snapped.
Oh, la razón de la sin razón es que mi razón se hace, de tal manera que mi razón enflaquece.
Madness caused him to see enchanted kingdoms, impossible quests, and terrible villains all around him. Unable to separate these things for real life, he believed it was up to him to become a knight himself and venture out into the world to achieve fame and eternal glory. First, like any good knight, he needed armor. What are you doing?
I'm building my armor. Behold and tremble at its glory.
What's that on your head?
Does thou not recognize a knight with his helmet?
That's a newspaper.
'Tis enchanted armor of the finest craftsmanship, forged on the island of Malindrania.
The headline here reads, "Forged last week."
You are mistaken, sir.
I'm not kidding. A gust of wind or light rain would defeat it.
Oh, 'twould not, and I shall prove it herewith. Here, take this.
What are you doing?
Right there.
What?
Grab it.
No.
Huh. There. Have at me, thou disbelieving wretch. Strike in my head if you wish, for none shall prevail against the fabled armadura de Trasvisonda.
I'm not gonna hit you.
Cobarde, deny me not the fury of thy puny arm.
Puny? I'll have you know I fought Turkish pirates in the Barrio Lepanto.
Oh, I do not fear thee. La Maris de Gaula, flee before the giant Endriago. He did not. Did the great Campeador El Cid tremble before the battle of Sagrajas? No, señor. Did la Caballero de Ardente Espada... It took me a week to build that helmet.
I tried to warn you.
'Tis no matter, for a knight is prepared to defend himself against every stratagem of his opponent. You may have overcome the fabled armadura de Transpisonda, but I shall defeat thee at last with the marvelous, the legendary Yelmo de Mambrino. ¿De qué te ríes, señor?
That's your helmet? Oh, I get it. You're trying to protect your noodle. It's really a stirring sight to behold. I can hardly handle the greatness.
Oh, you may recognize this as the Yelmo de Mambrino, sir.
Then why is it so big? I mean, you can fit a goose in there. It's already got a whole chicken.
Mambrino must have had a very large head.
Oh, why don't we test it? Why don't we test it?
No need, senor. I am wholly satisfied at its superior quality.
Where are you going?
If I am to journey across Spain, battling evil, I shall require a noble steed for my quest.
Are you sure you aren't headed for the kitchen?
Rocinante!
Get off me, you stupid horse!
Rocinante, no! Oh, mi cabeza! Oh, go down! No! Come hither, Capitan Illustre, and greet thy master. Oh, Dulcinea, la señora de este cautivo corazón.
Where are you going?
Oh, step aside, senor, for yonder lays a world rife with sin and villainy.
Those are people watching the puppet show.
Villains, I say! Giants, witches, and fiends!
Now hold on just a minute.
I shall defeat them with all glory and honor!
How's that such a good idea?
Onward, Rocinante!
Wait,
para la
wait.
honra y fama de Dulcinea!
Wait.
Whoa! Come back! Rocinante! Come back, Rocinante! Wait! Capitan Illustre! Ah! No, come back! Rocinante, come. Wait. Rocinante, no!
You
No!
your
No!
sister.
No!
Oh my gosh! You okay?
Yeah, what was that?
Hey, watch where you're going, pal.
You're gonna squish somebody.
Todo el mundo se tenga.
Who? Me?
Indeed, I address thee, good Sir Knight.
Knight? You think he's a knight? Boy, your brain must be scrambled in that pot of yours.
Hey, what's so funny? I could be a knight.
You? Yeah, right. It would take a magic spell to turn you into anything but a toad.
So, madam, you are a sorceress.
Sorceress? Look, senor, I'm a good Cristiana Vieja.
Sorceress. Now look who's laughing.
You too? Can't I just magically rearrange your face? Hi-ya!
No.
Take it anymore. Stop it.
Fear not, noble sir, for I, Don Quixote de la Mancha, have taken an oath against evil and shall come to your aid against this hideous witchcraft.
Oh.
Hideous?
Did he just call you ugly?
I think he did.
I warn thee, foul conjurer, by the code of chivalry, by the grace of Dulcinea, thou shalt suffer defeat at my hand.
Try suffer this. Okay.
Non fuyáis, gente cobarde, gente cautiva. Oh, 'tis not mine, but the fault of my horse I now lie here. Non fuyáis, I say. Oh, Dulcinea, que no te duele mi mal. O no lo sabes, señora, o eres falsa y desleal.
Senor Quesada, is that you?
Quijote!
Bless you.
My name is Quijote.
Quijana, that's what it is.
I am the great Don Quixote de la Mancha. Art thou Marquez de Mantua, now come to aid me in this fearsome struggle against this villano cruel?
Marquez, don't you recognize me? Mira voice said, I'm your neighbor, Sancho Panza.
My neighbor Sancho, you say? Then thou art not from Mantua?
Pecador de me, I've lived right here my whole life, and so have you. What happened?
Oh, you needn't worry, my friend, 'tis but a scratch. For such is the life of a caballero errante, along his journey to fame and fortune.
Did you say fortune?
I did.
Oh, what kind of fortune?
Oh, the fortune of a knight such as myself is to triumph over evil, to bring honor to his lady fair, take up letras y armas, to suffer and sacrifice for a higher cause.
Who needs all that stuff? I thought you meant money.
Oh, there is plenty of that to be had, my friend. Gold, jewels, extravagant feasts, medals of honor, titles of nobility. Why, the great Balmarin de Oliva was crowned as king over the empire of Constantinople. Of course, this matters not to a caballero. He thinks only of the justice of his cause and the virtue of his lady.
Oh, well, yeah, but What about the people who help the knights?
Oh, you mean the escuderos?
Yeah, the squires. Do they get some of this fortune?
Of course. According to the Código de Honra, they may partake in whatever spoils of victory they wish.
Very well, I accept.
What?
I'll be your squire. If there's feasts and fortune in this hero work, you can count me in.
But the pay...
Then I don't need a whole kingdom. I'd even be fine with an itty-bitty one
valor.
like that Constant and Sola.
Constantinople.
An insula.
You mean island?
It's a deal. You make me governor of an island.
An island, my friend?
Imagine it. Su Majestad Sancho Panza, governor of toda la insula with feasts and food and...
Very well. I hereby bestow upon you, Sancho Panza, the singular honor of accompanying the illustrious Don Quixote de la Mancha as his squire in arms. But soft, Sancho, dost thou hear the approaching sound?
What is it, senor?
The charge of horses, the rattle of steel, the shouts of valor, is the march of a terrible army surging onto the battlefield. Oh!
An army? Are you sure? They look like sheep to me.
Clearly you are a simple man, Sancho, unaccustomed to the adventurous life. 'Tis an army, I say, I'm sure of it. Dost thou not see the great cloud of dust? See there, the great emperor Ali Fanfaron, clashing swords with his mortal enemy, the malevolent Garamantas.
Farmies, barbas, senor. I don't see Ali anybody. Or girl, what's his face? Just sheep.
Look over there! It's the valiant Micocolembo, El Gran Duque de Quirosia. And over there, 'tis Brandebarán de Boliche, El Señor de las Tres Ararias.
Micro, bro. What? Punto adios. They all look like sheep to me.
Your fear, Sancho, clearly clouds your senses. As the vows of knighthood, I am honor-bound to aid in this great struggle. Step aside while I get my sword.
Wait, senor, there's not a struggle.
Oh, stay right there, Sancho.
I'm right here, but there's not
muttering.
They're sheep.
¡Muaja! ¡Por la gloria y fama de Dulcinea!
Stop it! What are you doing? Stop with the sheep! What did you do that for?
No.
Senor, they're sheep.
They weren't sheep, Sancho.
They were sheep?
They were not.
I promise they were sheep.
There was Brandebarán.
No.
Yes.
No, those were sheep.
Ande, caballero! Those are my sheep!
Oh, sheep. He thinks they were sheep.
Oh! Nobody messes with my sheep!
Oh, take this! Have some of that! You! Surrender, sir, or si no, que le cortaría la cabeza!
This isn't right. Not right at all. I remember reading about the sheep.
Back!
Oh, yes. Sancho then said,
Marry Senor Quixote?
then you guys had a big dramatic duel.
Ande, caballero! Those are my sheep!
Come and get it!
Take that!
Take that! Surrender, sir, or si no, que le cortaría la cabeza!
Por cierto! There's the mistake. Another author felt it was quite unbelievable for him to win such a pelea.
I beg your pardon?
So he told it the other way around and said it was Don Quixote who lay on the ground. Stay. And El Pastor hit him with a stick.
This is gonna be good! Surrender, sir! O si no, que le cortaría la cabeza!
This is an outrage! Oh, my head! Oh!
See? That was much better!
Senor, are you all right?
I do believe that fellow may have knocked out some of my teeth.
Well, let's have a look.
Oh.
How many did you have in before this adventure started?
4.
Not anymore, you don't.
'Tis no matter. Fortune smiles on us.
I hope Fortune has a better looking smile than you do.
I just remembered, Sancho, that I keep in my possession a balsamo de fiebras. Ha ha.
That smells awful.
'Tis a potion so powerful, it is said to rescue a man from the edge of death itself.
Where did you get that stuff?
Oh, I made it myself, using an ancient recipe I derived for just such an occasion.
Does it really work?
It shall make you healthy as an apple.
Oh, an apple, huh? That's good enough for me. Bottoms up.
There you are.
I don't think I feel any better.
Oh, patience, Sancho.
In fact, I feel worse. A lot worse.
Oh, I confess, my condition has likewise not improved.
I think you were right about one thing, senor. That potion's gonna bring something back, but it won't be my health.
No! Oh, vénganse, Sancho! Art thou healed, Sancho?
I think I'm still alive. If that's what you mean.
Did I not say this potion would rescue a man from the edge of death itself?
Next time I'd rather die.
Perdita de San Jeronimo, are you guys okay? Let me help you up.
Oh, you are very kind, fellow traveler, but it shall take more than that to defeat the great Don Quixote de la Mancha.
Por el hábito de San Pedro. Did you say your name is Don Quixote?
I did.
Deme vuestra grandeza las manos, señor Don Quixote de la Mancha.
I'd stay back if I were you, just in case there's another resurrection.
Whoa!
Mala de Dios, if you weren't these, Sancho Panza.
Yeah, that's me.
I see you have made our acquaintance.
Acquaintance? I love you guys. I've read all your adventures. I have posters of you in my room. I have all your action figures. I eat Quixote cereal every morning for breakfast. And look, I even have you on my underwear.
Oh, whoa! There's no need, senor. You have quite convinced us. And what might we call you?
Disculpen, I'm Sanso and Carrasco. I'm your biggest fan.
And where did you hear of the greatness of our names and deeds, Senor Carrasco?
Duh, I've read your book about 1,000,000 times.
What book?
This one, Leñoso Hidalgo, Don Quixote de la Mancha. Everybody's read it.
Did you say everyone's read my book?
Are you kidding? It was voted the greatest novel in the history of the world. Of course everybody's read it.
I must be filthy rich.
Actually, no.
Then all the world knows of the glory of Don Quixote de la Mancha.
Oh, yeah. I love the part where you wear that goofy paper hat.
And then I smashed it.
And you put that greasy pot on his head.
It was the Yelmo de Mambrino.
By the time he thought I heard of keeping the giant army.
Twas Garamantas the Malevolent.
Then he runs in and just gets trampled instead.
Hilarious, right?
Hey, I got mutton chopped in that whole disaster too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, remember the time they go to Zaragoza for the jousting competition?
Oh, hey, Snidey, they haven't gotten to that part yet.
Signores infames, I shall no longer endure this shameless affront to mi honra. Then, Sancho, let us be on our way.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so do I eventually get the insula you promised me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, goody. Senor Quixote, espere.
Samson.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, it'll be good.
Okay, let's go.
Así que, señor.
Quiet, Sancho.
¿A dónde vamos?
Don't worry about it.
Senor,
What?
are we going to Zaragoza like those guys said?
Oh, certainly not.
Oh, but they said something about a jousting tournament.
Oh, you were deceived, Sancho. No doubt those sorcerers put an enchantment on your ears.
Sorcerers? But I don't want to be enchanted. What if they curse us and make us go to Zaragoza?
Sancho, I give you my word as a knight that never in my life have I been to Zaragoza. Y jamás iré. If I'm to travel all the way north to Barcelona, al fin de no cumplir de los deseños of those wicked wizards, I shall avoid that place.
Or worse, what if they turn me into something unnatural? Like a donkey?
Sancho, trust in the wisdom of my counsel when I tell you no one shall make an ass out of you.
So where are we going then?
Wherever adventure may lead us.
Señoras y señores, llegar y oír que anda por esta mancha de Aragón enseñando las mejores y más bien representadas historias que de muchos años en este reino se han visto. El famosísimo titeretero, el hombre galante, el pan compañero, la vida del mundo, el que habla más que 6 y bebe más que 12, y a toda cosa de su lengua y de su retablo de maravillas, el riquísimo Maese Pedro.
Gracias, bienvenidos, gracias.
Haha, it appears the lord of this castle now celebrates my arrival.
Not you, him. Cuerpo de tal. That's Maese Pedro, the world-famous puppeteer.
Nonsense, Sancho. No doubt those wizards enchanted your eyes as well as your ears.
Gracias, todos, tirios y troyados. Sea bienvenido, voice of merced, Señor Maese Pedro. Gracias, Sancho. It's great to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special treat for you all today. The absolutely true story you are about to behold comes straight from the Crónicas Francesas y de los Romances Españoles. A story I discovered by speaking with eyewitnesses to the tragic event, the kingdom del Emperador Carlomagno in the city of Sansueña, where lived the brave, noble, handsome knight, Gaiaferos.
Oh, yeah!
Bravo!
But fate would test the valor of our hero, for one day his mortal enemy, El Rey Marsilio, sent men and captured his most beautiful lady.
Second most beautiful lady, after Dulcinea, of course.
Fine. Second most beautiful lady, his beloved wife, Melisendra.
Oh, no! Oh, no! Melisandre, watch out!
Oh, no.
His honor-wounded Gaiaferos pleaded with the Emperador, quien volvió la espalda y lo dejó despechado. He became filled with rage. He wept. He shouted.
Shout!
He pounded his sword and shield.
Pounding sword and shield.
He wept and shouted some more.
Maese Pedro, please stick to the story without wandering in so much unnecessary detail.
You're the man. Get to the point.
Cowboy, if you go to France, please ask Gaiaferos!
Abandoned but undaunted, our hero made the perilous journey to rescue the imprisoned Melisendra from the tower. But fortune would yet again turn on the happy couple, for just as they'd made their escape, Marsilio discovered them and sounded the alarm.
No! There are no bells in the land of Sansueña. Their customary alarm system uses an entirely different instrument, such as an atabel or a dulzaina.
A dulce what?
A dulzaina. 'Tis very much like a churimia, of course. Please endeavor to tell the story properly.
Mire, pues, Waster Merced, I'm the puppeteer here. Your job's to zip it and applaud. Got that? Por favor, escúchale, Señor Quijote.
Así es verdad.
That's better. Behold the horrible spectacle as Gaiaferos and Melisendra flee before the armies of Marsilio. Hear now the crash of steel. Witness the stampede of 1,000 horses against them. Utterly alone, Gaiaferos draws his sword to defend his lady against the terrible foe.
Hey, you can have her. I don't want her. No, we're both gonna get it.
Oh! Deteneo, smile nacida con ella. Fear not, Gaiaferos, for I shall lend thee the sword of Don Quixote de la Mancha.
They were I can do it, you destroyed everything. My stage, my puppets. How am I supposed to make a living now?
I'm sorry, senor. It all seems so real. Gaiaferos, Marsilio, Melisendra. It was the fault of the enchanters. Oh, I shall, of course, pay for the damages.
Por favor, no llores, Maese Pedro. It just breaks my heart when... Wait a second. Don't I know that nose?
Nose? I don't know what nose you're...
You're not Maese Pedro at all. You're Sansón Carrasco.
Now wait a minute, guys. You're imagining this. The enchanters, right?
Oh, sosegaos, Señor Carrasco. Oh, the knight's honor shall not endure this shameless deception.
Were you lying about my island too?
Okay, maybe I am Sandstone, and maybe I did play a little trick on you guys. But remember, I'm your biggest fan. I just wanted to go on all your adventures. Letras y armas, all that. Cervante's put me up to it.
Oh, advertid, señor, que me haga salir de los límites de la caballería. Oh! Get back there, you little diablo!
Cervantes!
Oh, where are you?
I'm right behind you.
Sancho, let's go!
Did you get
There he is! Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him!
Right behind you.
Wait, where'd he go? Sancho, hurry up! Sancho! Sancho, he's getting away! He's getting away!
Get him!
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Where'd he go? Where is he?
Get him? Did you get him?
No.
Did you get him, senor? Where'd he go?
It appears, Sancho, that he has in fact disappeared.
What?
Perhaps he was aided by aquel Sabio Freston.
I don't know about Sabio Freston, but I could sure go for something to feast on.
I greatly fear we are not alone, Sancho. Adventure guides us into the demon's belly.
Let's hope this time Adventure guides something into my belly.
See there, approaching in the distance!
What is it, senor?
It's an army of giants!
Quijote, senor?
Some 30 giants, all intent on taking our lives and glory in singular battle, no doubt. It cannot be!
What is it?
The army of assailants is led by the famous giant of Sevilla, Giralda! Oh, see their arms, able to pluck a man from his horse at casi dos leguas! Oh.
Here, Senor Quixote. That's not giant. It's a molino de viento. Their arms are for catching wind, not caballeros.
Oh, well may it seem to thee. Step aside and pray if you must, while destiny demands I strike these villains down in fierce battle.
What? Senor, they're just windmills.
Oh, non follades, cobardes y viles criaturas, que es un solo caballero, es el que os acomete. Oh, da, 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 oh, da, bow, bow, bow,
Senor, are you okay?
Oh, Sancho, have I not told you that all things in love and war are subject to sudden reversals of fate?
Well, yeah, but...
Clearly,
Viento.
one of my enemies has yet again transformed these giants into windmills to rob me of the glory in his defeat. Such is the hatred he feels for me. Oh, hatred I shall strike down with my sword in the end.
Senor.
Oh, déjame levantaros, ruego.
Senor.
Oh, these wizards and windmills. I greatly fear I am unwell.
What? But there are more adventures to have, right? Right?
My tale of adventure ends here.
What? The Bosmo! Oh, it'll make you healthy as an apple. I'll get it. Hold on.
I am empty. Oh, farewell, my friend. Oh, Dulcinea.
No se muere. Let's be pastores, senor.
As all things human are temporary and press onward on a decline from beginning to end, so was it of Alonso Quijano el Bueno, who could not escape the arrival of his fate in the moment he least expected, as he surrendered his spirit among the tears of his friends.
Yace aquí el hidalgo fuerte, que tanto extremo llegó de valiente.
Don Quixote, born from me as I for him, his deeds, my pen, his death, my end. Wait! This can't be it! Now mi consejo, and rise and ride again, for there's more adventure to be had, for the vanquished today are the victors tomorrow.
En un lugar de la Mancha.
De cuyo nombre no quiero acordarme.
No ha mucho tiempo que vivía un hidalgo,
De los de lanza en astillero, adorga antigua.
Rocín flaco y galgo corredor.
The name of this poor fellow was
Don Quixote de la Mancha.
Thank you.